You know that feeling, right? That frustrating, lonely moment in the dead of night when you're just wide awake for no good reason. Well, today we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and, more importantly, a super simple trick to get you back to sleep in minutes.
Just picture it. The clock glows 3:15 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling, and your mind just suddenly kicks into high gear. And then you start doing that dreaded sleep math. Okay, if I fall asleep right now, I can still get 4 hours, the pressure is on, and suddenly sleep feels a million miles away.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet this sounds very, very familiar to a lot of you out there. It's such a universal feeling of frustration. But what if I told you that this whole experience isn't a failure? What if it's actually completely normal?
And here's the real key to the whole thing. The fact that you woke up, that's not the issue at all. The real problem, the thing that keeps you staring at the ceiling for hours, is how you react in those first few moments after your eyes pop open.
So let's start by demystifying this 3 a.m. wake-up call. Because honestly, once you understand the biology behind it, a whole lot of the anxiety it just melts away.
Okay, so get this. Every single person on this planet wakes up in the middle of the night. It's a built-in feature of being human. The only difference is that most people just roll over and fall back asleep so quickly they don't even remember it happening.
So, why? Why is this a built-in feature? What is your body actually doing at that ungodly hour? Well, it all comes down to your body's internal thermostat.
Okay, so here's how it works. When you first fall asleep, your core body temperature actually has to drop. That's the signal for your brain to release melatonin. But, it can't just keep dropping forever. So around 1 to 3 in the morning, your body's thermostat kicks in and just warms you up a tiny, tiny bit. And that little shift is all it takes to pull you out of deep sleep.
All right, so we've established that waking up is normal, but staying awake for 2 hours? That is not. And that happens because we all make a few common and pretty crucial mistakes the second our eyes open.
Now, before we get to the mistakes, you need to understand this number: 60 beats per minute. To fall asleep, your heart rate needs to be at or below 60 BPM. Think of it as the physiological gateway to sleep. Just keep that number in your head.
And this brings us right to mistake number 1, getting up to pee. The moment you sit up, stand, and start walking, your heart rate spikes. It jumps from that calm, happy sleep zone all the way up to 80 or even 90 beats per minute, which makes falling back asleep way, way harder.
So here's the trick. Before you get up, just try this. Roll onto your back and wait for about 25 seconds. A lot of the time, you are just sleeping on your side, which puts pressure on your bladder. When you shift, that pressure releases, and poof, the urge is gone. No spike in your heart rate. Mistake number 2 is checking your phone. I mean, we're all guilty of this, but the second you see the time and start calculating how much sleep you've lost, you've just woken up your thinking brain. And sleep requires a quiet, resting brain, not one that's stressing about a deadline or doing mental math. And that leads right into the third and probably the most common mistake of all, trying to force yourself to sleep. You lie there going, "Come on, sleep, sleep, sleep!" But it just doesn't work that way. Trying to force it just creates stress, which raises your heart rate, which, as we now know, prevents sleep. It is a truly vicious cycle.
Okay, so if we can't force sleep, what are we supposed to do? Well, we allow it. And this is where we get to a simple but incredibly effective technique to do just that.
This is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. It was developed by Dr. Andrew Weil and was actually first used by the military to help calm soldiers down in super high stress situations. Its purpose is singular and powerful. It activates your body's relaxation response and gets your heart rate back into that magic sleep zone, below 60 beats per minute.
So here's how you do it. It's really simple. You breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Then you hold that breath for a count of 7. And then you exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 8. Just repeat that cycle until you feel yourself relaxing. The goal is about 10 minutes, or around 20 cycles.
Now, this technique has a really powerful side effect. It solves the monkey mind problem. You know when your brain just won't shut up? While you're busy focusing on counting 1, 2, 3, 4, your brain can't also be worrying about your grocery list or that dumb thing you said to your boss. It gives your racing thoughts a simple, calming job to do. So, the breathing trick is your #1 tool for letting sleep return. But what happens if you try it and you're still awake? And it's a fair question, right? You've done the 20 cycles, which is about 10 minutes, but your eyes are still wide open. The absolute key here is to not let that frustration and anxiety creep back in.
So here's your backup plan. If you're still awake and you feel that stress building, get out of bed. Lying there stressed just teaches your brain that your bed is a place for anxiety. So go to another room, read an actual physical book in dim light, no screens, and only come back to bed when you feel that wave of sleepiness again.
Look, the biggest takeaway from all of this is pretty simple. There is nothing wrong with you. Your sleep isn't broken. Waking up is a totally normal biological event. The only thing that needs to change is your panicked, stressful reaction to it.
So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., just remember this. Don't fight it, don't stress about it, just breathe, let your heart rate fall, and simply allow sleep to come back to you. Because it will.